Okay, welcome. We're going to try to do another session here of study together. We're going to be looking at this chapter 4. I think we went through most of our material last time with chapter 3. And so if I get stuck on something, I'll use my trusty old Google Translate. It's been helpful in the past. And we'll keep on just kind of going through this material and see what more we can learn, because the study of Hebrew, if you just put a few minutes a day into it, you'll be surprised at how far you come along and your ability to recognize letters and recognize words and begin to read fairly quickly if you just put a few minutes a day into this study. So we have up here Shiur, lesson 4. Okay, let me see if I can hike this a little bit. There we go. Bring it down a little bit more. About that. That's about perfect. All right, so Shiur 4. And so we have, this looks like studentim beuniversita. So students in the university. Notice the bet means in, with, or on. So studentim beuniversita. And so this is Universita Haifa. Looks like let's see, it's like Bakomafus. Let's see what this word is here. Okay. Get a sonic going here. Okay, on campus. That's like a transliteration. That's what that is. Bacampus. Bacampus.
Bacampus.
Bacampus. So that's so what this is we have Universita Haifa, University of Haifa, Bacampus, on campus. Okay, so here's the dialogue here, but before we do the dialogue, let's take a look at this here. We've got this word po. This means here. And then we got in this box here, it says pay attention to the varied forms of universita. Let's see here. We've got universita versus universitet. Man, I wonder if that's Universität Haifa. Let's take a look at that. Universität.
Universitat.
It's Universitat.
Universitat.
Universitat. Notice there's a difference. And I thought that looked a little bit different there. Universitat Haifa. Okay, so it's Universitat right here because it ends with a tav, but this right here is Università. So it's like having to do with a student. Okay, how about this one? But Università, so like in the university, and but Universitat. The Universitat.
Universitat. Universitat.
The Universitat Haifa. Both cases will be explained later. Okay. Both cases will be explained later. So let's see here. We've got Ori. He says shalom. That's basically hi. Einet says Boker Tov. Good morning. Boker Tov means good morning. Let me make sure we get this Einet pronounced right. I think I looked it up before, but I just want to be sure.
Einat.
It's Einat.
A nut.
A nut.
A nut.
A nut. So if it was transliterated, it would be kind of like this. E-I-N-A-T. A nut. And this is ori. Ori. Might be like, let's double check that. Left.
Uri.
Yeah, I was right. Ori. Ori. It was kind of like this. Ori. All right, so a nut says Boker Tov. Ori says At Studentit. In this case would be like you, student, Beuniversita. Okay, At Studentit, Beuniversita. Why does this say Studentit? Because Einet must be a girl. And I'm almost certain that's the feminine form. And if we go up to our names, I think there was a exercise that we did where there was names. Let's see here. We can go to these. I know they had a bunch of these names listed up here somewhere. And they had masculine and feminine names listed out for us. Yeah, here we go. There it is. Nikva, right here. So we have feminine here and zacher. Zacher is masculine and nikva is feminine. So these are proper names here. Notice Einet is feminine. So that's why they're using studentit down there in reference to Einet. Okay, get back down to Shior 4. Okay, so what we're talking about here is at studentit beuniversita. Ori says, are you a student in the university? Einet, who is feminine, remember, and this is very important to understand who's feminine or masculine in Hebrew because it affects everything in the sentence when you're reading it. Okay, Einet says, Ken, ani studentit. Yes, I'm a student. V'ata, and you. Notice she says ata to Ori because Ori is a man, is a young man in the university. A young man is masculine. So instead of, notice that up here, Ori says at in reference to Einet, like you, at, because that he's speaking to a girl. But if Einet speaks back to Ori and says you and you, she uses a ta. You see the difference there? So knowing the gender is critically important in understanding Hebrew. Okay, so what does she say? Ken ani studentit. Yes, I am a student. But ata, and you. And Ori says gam ani student. Student. Notice in the masculine, student. Studentit if it's a girl student. Student if it's a boy student. So gam means also I am a student. So basically, also I'm a student. So I'm also a student. You could say vernacular English. Okay, okay, Einet says po. She asked the question, po? And the question po, remember, it means here. So she wonders if he is a student in the university where she's at. Po. And what does Ori say? Lo, ani student beuniversita Tel Aviv. Okay, so he's saying, no, I'm a student in the university in Tel Aviv. Lo, ani student beuniversita Tel Aviv. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so now we've got another discussion here. What's going on here? Uri, student. Uri, maybe this is like a description thing here. Uri is a student. Uri student, okay. Who student Università Tel Aviv. So he is a student. Who means he, student Università, in the university in Tel Aviv or of Tel Aviv. Wait a minute. No, in the university, he's in the University of Tel Aviv, so it's going to be Universität. I think it's Universität. Isn't that? Notice it uses this right here, this tav ending here. And remember that they was pointing this out, this difference here, and this difference here. I looked this up before, but sometimes I have to look up things again. But Universität. But Universität.
Beuniversität.
That's right. But Universität Tel Aviv. So if he says if it says he's a student in the University of Haifa, it uses this form, but Universität. But if there's a discussion, he says, "Are you a student in a university?" It uses this, but Universität. Interesting. All right. While I'm at it here, let's knock this out. Let's see. These are my answers for the other stuff. All right, so let's go here. Basically, I think this is like a narrator description. It's like, you know, when you're reading the book, there's like a narrator that takes over and tells a little bit about the people that are in the discussion. So this says Gam Einet Studentit. Also, Einet is a student. He, Studentit, notice in Hebrew, the word he means she, He, Studentit, Universität Haifa, Universität Haifa, in the University of Haifa. Okay. Now, Aviv Einat Studentim. Notice it uses the term studentim here because it's talking about both Uri and Einat. So together it's plural. So when you say students in plural, you use studentim. And in particular, because you've got a boy and a girl, you use studentim. Now, if it's just girls you're talking about, it might be different. It might be studentiot in that case. But if it's a mixture of boys and girls or all boys, it's studentim, students. Hem, studentim, beuniversità. Hem is they. That can either be a mixture of plural. In other words, you can have boys and girls together and say hem, they, studentim beuniversità. They are students in the university. Okay, Adon Zahavi More. Mr. Zahavi is the teacher. That's what that's saying. Adon Zahavi More. Hulo student. He is not a student. So it's he, not student. He is not a student. Because it says he's a more, which is he's a teacher, like a professor. Okay. Here we have questions. She'alot. Questions. Number one. Einet. Studentit. Okay, so we could put here if I can get my writing tablet going here. We could say, let's bring this up a little bit. Okay, right about here. Okay, so we're gonna look at this right here. Eine Studentin. Is eine a student? We could say can. We use a chaf and a nun suffix, can. And the writing's pretty sloppy today. Can eine. I think I'm writing these out because I think that's what they expect students to do. Let's see here. Put a shurek there. Yeah, this is a vav, but it's turned into a shurek. Student. Okay, noon. Another tet. Yod. And then a tav. Okay, Ken, eine is a student. Ken, eine student. Okay, let's take a look at, we should have the answers to this somewhere. Okay, yes, here it is. Let's see if I got it right. Ken, okay, instead of putting, I just put eine in there. That will work as well, but what they wanted was can he studentit. So she is a student. Okay, so now that I kind of know what they're going for, okay, so second one is gam ori student. Student. I'm almost certain that's pronounced student. I know the feminine is studentit. Student.
Student.
Yep, student. It's almost like the STU just kind of stu, kind of like that. Stu. Student.
Student.
Student. That's masculine for student. So also gam ori student. Also ori is a student. Okay, so we could put in there can. We could put, let's see, who, let's see, can who, let's see here, student. So we use a somic and a tet. And this actually, if you were to look at the vowel, this vav here, it's transformed into a shurek because you get an oo sound here. Stu, and then a dalet, and a noon, and then a tet. Okay, can who student? Yes, he is a student. Now let's double check our work here. Okay, they wanted us to put also in there. Can gam who student? Okay, I see what they're getting at here. So can gam who student? So yes, also he's a student. Okay. There we go. Now, limited desk space, and I've got a writing tab and a lot of stuff to coordinate here. All right, so let's see what we got here for now, number 3. Hem studentim beUniversitat Haifa. Are they students in the University of Haifa? Remember that Ori is a student in the Universitat Tel Aviv. So he's in Tel Aviv, whereas Einet is in Haifa. She's in Haifa. So we have to say lo. Let's see. We could say lo, no, lo, let's see, Ori we would use studentit. Or student, rather. Sorry, we need to use student because Ori is a masculine, is man. Student. Okay, lo, Ori is a student. This would take too long to write it out, but there it is right here. But Universitat Tel Aviv, that's what we need right there. Lo Ori student, but Universitat Tel Aviv. He's a student in the Universitat of Tel Aviv, at the University of Tel Aviv. Okay, and then also we would say that we would say va Einet studentit. She's a student, feminine. Bet Universitat Haifa. So Einet's in the university, but Universitat Haifa. She's in the University of Haifa. So let's see if that's, it would take an awful long time for me to use an electronic pen to write that out. So let's just look at the answer and see. Let's see what they got for the answer. Okay, so Einet, Ken, Einet, yes, Ori, no. Look at how they phrase that. Einet, yes, Ori, no. So Einet is in the University of Haifa, but Ori is not. Who student Universitat Tel Aviv? Okay, so basically they're saying in this case they're saying Einet yes, Ori no. And with reference to Ori, they say he is a student in the University of Tel Aviv. So who student Universitat Tel Aviv? All right. You never know how the answer is going to write it out because there's 2 or 3 different ways you could write this out. Okay, so number 4, at or ata. We have to figure out what which one they want here. Student or studentit beUniversita. You. Let's see, this is at or ata. You are a student or studentit beUniversita. In other words, it looks like it's asking the person who's doing the Hebrew class, doing this out of the book. Are you a student in a university? Well, I'm going to put lo. Let's see, lo ani. That's I. I'm a more. So I'm a teacher or professor. Ba Yahad. Ba Yahad. In the Yahad. In other words, the grouping of believers that are of this faith walk in the Yahad. Okay, so all right. Let's see what they decided to put on that one though. Ken ani studentit or student or stit ba universita. Looks like ook. Wonder what this is here. Ook Sephard. Ook Sephard. We're gonna have to write this out. Oh, looks like Oxford. That's what that is.
Oxford.
Okay, so ken ani student or ken ani studentit be Universitat Oxford. Okay. Maybe that's because this program is designed for students at Oxford University. So if there was a student in that program at Oxford University was looking at this exercise and it's asking, are you a student in a university? In other words, the person doing the program being in Oxford, this is how they would write it out in Oxford. This is an Oxford University Press program, okay? All right, so we got Shalom, we got the questions done. Now, let's take a break here, check my Facebook feed, see if there's any questions on there. You never know. I don't see anything yet. All of you out there, if you're watching this live, throw some questions on it. Uh-oh. I hit the wrong thing. Okay, so if you have any questions, I could try to answer them in real time on there. Just put a comment down. Okay. All right, so we have Zacher Nichava. So masculine and feminine. Zacher Nichava. Okay, and then we have Yahid and Rabim. So that's like singular and plural. This is plural. Okay, so nouns that represent living things normally have 4 forms: singular masculine, singular feminine, plural masculine, and plural feminine. Okay, the singular masculine form is used to construct all other forms. Isn't that interesting? In Hebrew, the singular masculine form is used to construct all other forms. That kind of goes back to Genesis, where Elohim made Adam, he made a man, and then he made a woman took a rib from his side and made a woman, and through her, him impregnating her children. It's like the biblical story is in the grammar too. It started with a man, Adam, who was given a wife, and they make children, and so all of the forms. For the singular feminine form, one of the following suffixes is affixed to the singular masculine form. Okay, so we've got kametz hey, we've got tab, we've got hirit yod tab. For the plural masculine, the suffix is hirit yod mem sufit. It's attached, while for the plural feminine, the suffix holem tav is attached. The plural masculine is used with all masculine as well as mixed groups. The plural feminine is only used with all feminine groups. Okay, so let's look at this here. So these are all basically all these here mean student of some form. So we have student, that would be like masculine singular. Studentit, that would be like feminine singular. Studentim would be like many students, whether masculine or feminine mixed together, or all masculine. Studentiot right here, studentiot would refer to just a bunch of female students, strictly female students, no men in there. Now we've got more would refer to a masculine singular teacher. Mora would be a female singular teacher. Morim would be either all male teachers or a mixed group of teachers. It would default to the masculine plural, morim. So if you had, let's say you had 10 women and 1 man that were all teachers in a school, it'd be kind of an imbalance, wouldn't it? But anyway, let's say you had that, it would still be referred to as, they would still be referred to as morim. So even in the language, even in the Hebrew language, it still retains the patriarchal. Now you might understand, I shouldn't go down this rabbit trail, I really shouldn't. But do you understand that this connects to why there's very wicked people that want to redefine terms, redefine natural terms, redefine natural, the kinds of natural things the Bible speaks of, and put it into terms, because they know that even in the language is the truths of Scripture with regard to the order in society, or the order that the Almighty desires. Okay, so we've got morot. So this one, morot, would be like just a group of teachers who are women, a group of teachers who are women. Morot, you refer to them as morot, they'd be all women teachers. Okay, Talamid would be like 1 masculine singular student. Talamidah would be like 1 feminine singular student. Talamidim would be like either all boys who are students or a mix of boys and girls who are students. And Talmidot would be just female students, strictly female students, Talmidot. Okay, actually, I think these are the students up here. I think I said that wrong. Talmid is like a Talmid, a pupil. It's almost the same thing. It's like a pupil. Talmid. So it's interesting because Talmid is like a pupil and this is a student. But sometimes I don't get them down to the nitty gritty. It's the same concept. It's like a student, a pupil. Talmidah would be like a female pupil. So these words are very similar, but they do have there is a very slight difference in the definition. So Talmid is a pupil. Also, it can be a disciple. It can be a disciple. It can be like a student scholar studying under a rabbi, a Talmid. That could could also be, but it can, in general sense, it could also be defined as student. All right, let's see here. Note that when the masculine singular form ends with hey, as in more, that hey is dropped in the plural forms. The feminine form is identical to the masculine, except that it ends with the vowel Looks like not eh. Okay. So in other words, instead of segol, or instead of instead of segol, which is what we have here in the 3 dots in a triangle, that's called segol. It's an S sound. It changes to like a little cross figure. That's called kametz. That's ah sound. Okay, inanimate objects also have gender, either masculine or feminine. So that's kind of an interesting thing to learn in Hebrew, but even something like a dishwasher, if you're referring to it, the dishwasher went out or something like that, it would use either who or he, depending on the gender of dishwasher. Okay, everything has to match up. How can you determine an object's gender? Typically, objects that end with a hey or an ah sound or a t are feminine, like studentit. Like studentit is definitely feminine singular. It's feminine for sure. Objects that end with any other letter are generally masculine. Why do they say generally? Because there's always some exceptions. And you just have to know what it is, whether it's an exception or whether it is the norm. As a result, each object has only 2 forms, singular, either masculine or feminine, and plural, whose gender parallels the singular form. Okay. One thing I wish that Zoom would do, hey, China, if you're listening, put a timer on the share screen, unless I'm missing it. You know that China's basically spying on everything, so who knows? Maybe it'll get to the right people. All right, here we go. Targil, exercise. So this is, let's see, Saman at Amin. Okay, we might have to look some of these up. Saman. Oh. Hey, cursor, that's a cursor.
Saman.
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 Cursor. At Amin. Saman at Amin. Okay, mark the gender. That's what that means. Mark the gender. All right. So semen means mark. At the. This isn't at. That's wrong. This is basically the. They haven't talked about this yet, but it's like a place marker. I'll probably go into that later detail. But where they're getting this mark, Hamin, the gender, Hamin, Veha Mesafer, Veha Mesafer, Shel, Hamilim, Ha, Ot. In the number of words, Habaot. I bet you it's Habaot. Habaot. Okay, I see. So mark. Mark the number. Veha Mesafer of the, this is the words right here. And this is Veha Mesafor, it's got to be the number. Shall, belonging to Hamilim, the words, and then Habaot would be following.
והי מספר של המילים הבאות. והי מספר של המילים הבאות.
Yes, how about, oh,
והי מספר של המילים הבאות.
okay, so they want us to mark the number of the following words. Okay, all right, so we've got Yahid for singular, we've got Rabim for plural, singular. This is Zacher for masculine, Nikhva for feminine. This would be under the plural, would be like masculine plural. Zacher, Rabim would be like masculine plural. Nikhva, Rabim would be like feminine plural. Okay, so Talmidah, they've got this listed here. They got it checked here because it's a feminine singular. It's Yahid, that's Nikhva Yahid. Okay, how about campus? Campus. Okay, well, that's going to be, I think it's going to be a plural. Campus. Probably campus. Campus. Yep. Okay, it's a noun, and does it tell us I'm going to say that it's probably this one here. Rabim Zacher, because it looks like it's got a, actually it's going to be singular. I'm gonna make a guess and say it's Yahid Nikhva. Campus is singular. How about Targilim? Targilim. That's like exercises, plural. And I think they're probably going for this one here, Zacher Rabim. Geveret, it means Mrs. So that's going to be, I think it's going to be singular, Mrs. We'll try this, Yahid Nikhva. So that's singular, feminine. How about, looks like telephoneme. Telephoneme, that looks like telephones, like telephones. Let's double check that. Telephoneme. Yeah, telephone. Yeah, it's just phones. It's plural. Okay, so I'm going to say that that's probably going to fit here. Zacher Rabim. How about she'alot, questions? That's definitely going to fit here, I think. Rabim Nikhva. So that's plural feminine. Shem, that's like names. No, name. I think it's Shemot is names. This is singular. Shem, singular. Let's see here. I'm going to try this right here, Shem. How about Universita? I think that's probably this one right here, Yahid Nikhva, which is singular, feminine, feminine singular, because I say that because there's the hey at the end there. So that looks like it's feminine singular. Okay, so let's look at our answer key and see if we got these right. There we go. We have to get rid of all of our writings and just see. Okay, so we got Talmidah. Okay, so that is, yep, Yahid Nikhva. So that's singular, feminine. Campus, I was right about that, I think. Actually, I think I put feminine in there, so it looks like it's a masculine. Targilim, that's definitely masculine plural. We got masculine, Rabim is plural. Geveret, yeah, that's singular, and Yahid Nikhva. Okay. Telephoneme, I think I got that right because it ends in the "im" ending, which is generally masculine plural. So I put that in there. She'alot is definitely feminine plural, so that's rabim, nikva. Shem is just a name. I can't remember what I put there, but I think I got that right. Yahid Zacher. Universita, I knew that was a feminine singular because of the hey there. I think I mentioned that. All right, I think we did pretty good on that. Okay, so now we have, I think we can finish this. What do you all think? Can we finish this? Let me see if there's any questions yet on the Facebook feed. Yeah, no questions that I can see. All right. Let's see here. Now, I think a lot of people that watch these videos do so after I've done the live version. But remember, if you happen to be online and you see a notification from me, I don't have regular schedule. Just about everything I do is impromptu. I try to fit it into the schedule, into my schedule, which is static. It's, But let's take a look at this box here. Okay, so there is no neuter in Hebrew. Objects referred to as who, which is masculine singular, he, feminine singular, hem, masculine plural or mixed plural. Hen is just strictly feminine plural for they. Depending on their number and gender, the pronoun corresponds to the object's gender and number. For example, hatelevizia, that's the television, lo po is not here. Hatelevizia, lo po. Ifo, he. Where is it? Ifo is like where. Where he. Televizia, notice because it ends in a hey, most likely it's feminine, so it's got to match this right here. Instead of who, instead of it being referred to as who, it's going to refer to it as he. Okay? So if it's not a person and it's an object, you still use who or he to refer to it as. And it's just it in that case. It's translated as it. But you can't just put either one in sloppily. You have to know what the object is, what gender it is, masculine or feminine. Okay. All right, targil, exercise. Ana al hasha'alot. What about the questions? That might be what about the question. Let's see what that says. Ana. Lo she'alot. No, all. Okay, let's try that again. Ana al hasha'alot. Okay. Ana means answer. Answer the questions. Okay. Ana, answer. All. In other words, I think it's literally saying answer about the questions. Okay, ha shetamesh bashemot haguf. I think I've seen that before. Hashetamesh bashemot haguf. In other words, use the correct names, use the correct body names referring to the object. So in other words, you're going to be using like one of these, who, he, him, hen. Okay, so, all right, number one, Adon Kohen, Mr. Kohen, me America? Adon Kohen, me America? I don't remember us this. I think they just want us to get practice here. Can. Okay, yeah, they're giving us a clue here. Can, yes. In other words, we need to say he is from America. So Adon Kohen, Mr. Kohen is going to be masculine singular. So we're going to use who. And we're going to say, may America. Okay. Who may America? He is from America. Now let's see if that's what they're going for. Okay. Yeah, I got that right. Adon Kohen may America. Mr. Kohen is from America. The answer is can, yes. Who may America? He is from America. All right. We got that right. All right, so now, Geveret Zahavi Mora is Geveret Zahavi Mora, is she a teacher? In other words, is Mrs. Zahavi a teacher? And the answer is low, so we have to finish it. Low, I think it's low, he low. More. Let's try that out and see what answer they got. Because remember that he refers to she in Hebrew. Remember that who is he and he is she in Hebrew. All right. Lo, he, that means she. And I think we have to put another lo there. It's kind of a sloppy aleph, isn't it? About this. Lo, mora. Okay. Lo, he lo mora. Let's see if that's the answer. Yeah, okay. Geveret Zahavi, more, lo, he lo. Yep, I got that right. He lo mora. But then they've added this. Now, how is a student supposed to expect this? She is Sephernite. Oh, like a librarian. Okay. Sephernite. No, it's a hold on here. Sephernite. Must not be how you say it. Librarian. I thought they had something to do with the librarian.
Safranit.
Sephernite.
Safranit.
Sephernite. That means like a female librarian. Sephernite.
Safranit.
Sephernite. He's Sephernite. Okay. So she is a librarian. All right, let's see if we can guess the other ones. It's kind of fun. I think what I need to do is knock off some of these here. Make it easier to get to. Here we go. Okay, so number 3, at studentit. Are you a student? Can at studentit. Are you a student? Can. In this case, I think you would use ani. Almost certain. Ani. And this would be like a an A student. It's like been a while since I've written these out like this, these letters. Studentit. I could finish that by saying but universita. So I won't write all that out, but I could say ani studentit ba universita. I'm a student of the university, but let's see what they decide to put there. Okay, at studentit can ani studentit. They just say that at studentit, ani studentit. Okay, so I got that right, ani studentit. Okay, number 4, Yael Ruti Talmidot. Is this Ruti? I think that might be Rudy. I don't know. Varuti. Ruthie. It's M. Ruthie. Yael, we know, is feminine. Okay, so we know Yael Veruti. This feminine plus feminine. Talmidot. Are they pupils there? Are they pupils? Can, and referring to them, remember you got 2 females. If you want to say they about 2 females, you're going to use this one right here, hen, because that's feminine plural, okay? Whereas if you had a boy and a girl, you would use hem, which is feminine, which is masculine plural, or it could be boys and girls mixed together. It would default to the masculine plural. So in this case, we would put hen in there, which should be a hey, a nun suffix, and then we would just put talmidot. And can hen talmidot. All right, let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, here it is here. Yael Viruti talmidot. Can hen, I got that right, talmidot. All right, good deal. I know this seems kind of laborious, but if you do, what I've learned to do is just do a little bit, and I've been doing this for years. My son is actually much more advanced than I am. He can speak fluently in Israel, but then he's in Israel. He's forced to be immersed in the language. Me, here in America, I kind of have to use books and whatever audio files I can come up with. But yeah, willing, maybe someday the Father will bless me with a trip to Israel. We'll see. All right, let's see here. So we did this one here. Now we're on number 6. Abba, Va'ima, Babayit, our father and mother in the house. Abba, Va'ima, Babayit. Lo, I would refer to them as hem, because we're saying they, but it's a mixture of masculine and feminine. Abba, Va'ima. Hem, lo, I need to do a better job on my aleph, don't I? How about that? Lo, babayit, in the house. Okay, now in biblical Hebrew, if you were to see this, if you were to see this word babayit in the house, it would have a dagesh in there, like that, babayit, in both of them. But because you don't have any dagesh, you don't have any nikud, no vowel pointing of any kind, you just have to know how it's pronounced. Okay, number 7. First of all, let's see what their answer is. Okay, Abba Be'ima Babayit, lo, hem, lo, babayit, hem, babayit. Oh, look at what they added here in the answer. I put this part. They are not in the house. Hem babayit cafe. They're in the coffee house. They're in the coffee house. They're not in the house. They're not at home. They're in the coffee house. All right, number 7. Universitat Tel Aviv. Well, America is the University of Tel Aviv in America? Clearly not. Lo. And now notice that we are referring to the University of Tel Aviv, which is a singular unit. It's one university, University of Tel Aviv. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, and notice that university, the Universität, I'm almost certain that's a feminine singular. So we're going to use he there. And for it, what it means is it's, lo, it's. We're going to put by Yisrael. By Yisrael. Okay, so it's in Israel. Lo, he, by Yisrael. Let's see what they put there. Okay, Università, here it is. Università Tel Aviv, America, in America. Lo, he, by Israel. All right, we did it. We got it right. Let's see here, 8. Let's see here, run. This, I might have to look this one up. Zeh, I know means this. Radio. Radio. That's a transliteration. Is this radio good? It's a question. Is this radio good? I think what they're looking for there is to say let's see, Matsuyan, and yeah, it's referring to the radio. So the question is radio masculine or singular? And it doesn't give me a lot of clues here as far as the so I'm gonna say doesn't say here on this. So I just have to know whether radio is masculine or feminine in its gender. It's masculine. It's masculine. Okay, so what we would put here is can blank Metsuyan, which is excellent. So we would put, it's singular radio, so we're going to use who, which is he, which is, well, it's not he in this case, it just means it's, but we got to get the right gender to match radio. Okay, so Zeh radio tov, is this radio good? Can means yes. Who is what we use? It's Metsuyan. Excellent. All right, let's see here. That might be the end. All right. Hey, guys, I had a lot of fun with this today. I hope you guys have just as much fun learning Hebrew as I do. We live in a society that is devoid of scholarship. All you have to do is take a cursory look at Washington, D.C. to see that. The kind of people that are being elected people are not book readers anymore. They're not studiers anymore by and large, but there's a select few. And I hope you're among that select few, my friends, who wants to improve, who wants to increase understanding and knowledge. The Bible talks a lot about that. And there's a lot of blessing with that, especially when you're studying the word of Elohim. But if this has been a blessing to you, I want you to consider going to www.paypal.com and just send us a small donation to keep us going. The cost of this, to have this system in place, the cost of the books, the cost of the materials, all of that's coming out of my pocket, but I could do so much more if we had some more funds coming in. So just send a PayPal to gsmith1gs@gmail.com if you are so inclined. And you can reach out to us, our ministry website here in Greenwood, South Carolina, www.hmisrael.com. You can text me 0148. And, just tell me who you are, what your location is, the nature of your question, and I'll try to help you out with Hebrew or, an understanding of the grammar as far as I know. And I always have people I can refer to who are more advanced than I am, but I'm just offering this free, other than maybe any donations, but, in a university, a class like this, covering this kind of material, it would cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This material is designed for an Ivy League school, Oxford University. So this is not simple stuff that you're going to find on YouTube, that just some company is trying to put out just a few things. You might pick up some things, but this is really getting into the nuts and bolts of modern Hebrew. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. And I hope it was a blessing to you. And next time, hopefully we will come back again. And until then, Lahitra O.